These are T-squares from the company Vaco, sold through the website Banggood over in China. The claim is that they are high quality and highly precise, yet they come in at a price point that's unbelievable. False claim or really good? Don't know. Let's find out. So this is the second in a series of videos looking at woodworking tools from Banggood over in China. And today we're going to look at the T-squares. And I've been really interested to get my hands on these because they really do look good quality. The reviews are fantastic and they're an incredibly good price and value for money. So in this video we're going to start off by unboxing the two I've got here in the shop, the 300 and the 600. We'll then put these together because there's a little bit of assembly required. And then we'll look at the full range of the Imperial and the Metric and look at those all-important price points. And then I want to have a look at the key features of these and see what all the fuss is about, and then look at the accuracy. And then we'll finish off with the usual thoughts and comments and would I recommend them. So let's get cracking and start by unboxing them. So here I have what's known as the 600 and the 300mm T-squares. Now interestingly, although this is a 600 advertised on the website, the packaging tells me it's a 500mm, T500 and 500mm on this label here. And this one does indeed say 300. So it'll be interesting to see what size this beast actually is. In fact, let's start with the 500. Comes well packaged in this no frills cardboard. Both of these were together in a bigger piece of cardboard packaging, so they're protected in shipping, but the product themselves are in these boxes. Opening it up, you can see we've got some of this plastic non-recyclable foam stuff that I'm not a lover of, but that's what we get inside here. And everything's really well packed, to be fair, well protected and well packed, and this is shipping over from China. We then get a nice big red anodized red aluminium rule, which is sweet. We get a head with 500 again stamped on the head, and we get a small bag of bits. Opening up the 300 kit, we get another piece of red anodized aluminium, another head, this time cleverly with 300 on it, and another bag of bits, and again this is in no frills cardboard with that non-recyclable foam inside it. Now although these are shipped from Banggood, the product make is Vaco, V-E-I-K-O, Vaco, and to be honest with you, they look pretty fine so far. So although on the site it's advertised as a 600, it's actually 500mm long. The overall increments come down to 510, but for all intents and purposes it's half a metre, it's 500mm long. So a bit misleading on the website where it says 600 device. Assembly I think is going to be pretty straightforward. On the back here it's got two holes, two key holes, and then 4 clearance holes. And on the bracket here it's got 2 keys here on the bracket, and then these are then threaded holes. So obviously that just slots into there, slots into those keyholes, and that gives you hopefully a very square fixing. There's no movement in this at all, there's zero play even before I tighten it down. Once I've got those things aligned, there's zero play in that, so there's no adjustment, so it's either accurate or it's not. It comes with 4 screws and a small Allen wrench, and that's pretty obvious what happens here. There's no instructions, but then again this is so easy you probably don't need them. Just going to put those in lightly to begin with before I swing down on them. Just checking everything's nicely seated, and now I'm going to tighten these into position. Now that went in no problems whatsoever. Everything seems to be lined up well. I'm not forcing these screws in any way, shape or form, so it all does line up, all the holes, everything looking good. And we can now just quickly nip these down. The Allen keys of appalling quality. That end fits well, this end doesn't fit at all. So I'm going to come in with 2.5mm and just nip those up. And there you go, your T-square is assembled. The 300 in theory is exactly the same. It looks to be exactly the same size. It actually looks to be exactly the same extrusion, to be honest with you. Same size holes, same size head, so they are interchangeable, not that you care. And again, it fits in well. There's no play inside that. This Allen key actually feels a bit better quality, so don't think we can fault the rules for the Allen keys. And there you go, they are built. So in terms of the range, there's a 300 one, a 600 one that we know is actually 500mm, an 800 and 1000. There's also an imperial equivalent, so there's a 12-inch one, a 24-inch one, which is probably nearer to 20 inches than 24, learning on our points here, and a 31-inch, but there's no equivalent 1 meter in the imperial range. Price point, the 300 is going to come in at £19.91, which is about $24.99. The 600 is going to come in at £31.06, which is $38.99. The 800 will come in at £39.03, which is $48.99. And the 1000 will come in at £47 or $58.99. So not a bad price at all. Now, although these aren't a direct rip-off of the Woodpeckers one, they are designed slightly different, which is nice to see. They've thought about it a little bit. When you think that the 32-inch Woodpeckers will come in at around about $169, $170, you can actually buy this entire kit shipped free for your door for less than one of the Woodpeckers products. And that puts those into perspective. Now, they are high quality, aluminium head, aluminium body. Now, depending on what you buy, you've either got the metric range or the imperial range, and it's the same numbers on both sides, so it's no matter where you're using this, you're going to get that lined up pretty well. There's also holes at 1mm increments on this rule, and appropriate probably 1/32 increments on the imperial one, and that's a 1mm hole in dimension, which means it's great because it will take the metal surround of your propelling pencil, which gives you some strength on the lead, which is nice to see as well. So far, so good. The quality is really good. They're well machined, they feel nice in the hand, they're very tactile, there's no sharp edges at all, everything is neatly rounded over. The holes are set at sensible increments for woodworking. No bend, no flex in this, all goes together solidly. Now the big question of course is, are these things actually accurate? Because they can be as sexy as hell, but if they're not accurate, they're nothing more than sexy looking junk. So let's put it through some accuracy tests and see what we think. So the first thing I want to have a look at is whether these are square. So I'll just draw a line down my board like so. Now I'll come in with the second one because it's unlikely that they've both got the same error, if there is an error. And I'll just bring my line, just put my pencil on that line we've drawn, and I'm going to slide up the square to my pencil lead and then draw a line. And in theory, those two lines should be on top of each other. And they are. So they've either got exactly the same error or those things are square. I'm going to come in with a known square edge, which is my Bench Dog's Combi square. And again, I'm going to bring up the square to that line and draw on it. And again, I'm drawing directly on top of that line. So it's unlikely that one of my favourite companies in the UK, Bench Dogs, and these new squares have exactly the same error on them. So it does look like they're all at 90 degrees. We'll just check that visually as well. I'm going to come in with my digital calipers here. I'm just going to line this up so everything is nice and tight. And according to my digital calipers, that is coming in at bang on 90 degrees. So that's pretty good. Not sure if I can show you that without moving the... There you go. So it's coming in bang on 90 degrees. Okay. Move the angle. I'm going to bring it down so it rests there. And that is also bang on 90 degrees. So my T-squares are 90 degrees. I want to check this other side as well to see whether that is also 90 degrees. Yes, that is also coming bang on 90 degrees. And this one here is also 90 degrees. That's pretty good as a start. So these sides here are obviously parallel to each other because both angles came in at 90 degrees as measured by my gauge. And we also checked the 90 degrees with a known 90 degrees. And if you saw that video, you'll see us checking that one for 90 degrees and it came out bang on. So yeah, these are good. That's 90, that's 90, therefore they must be parallel. I now want to look at these measurements a little bit to make sure that these are accurate as well. Now to test this calibration here, I can come in with my Incra precision rule and just try something here, because this has got holes in it. I'm going to come into one of these major divisions here. This 60 will do because it's convenient. Bring up my ruler to the edge and I shall be able to see white in every one of those holes, and I can. So all those millimetre increments look like they are completely and utterly bang on as well. Double check that coming in with my Axminster precision rule. Line up the end there on 0, and that's coming in 510. Yep, all that's looking pretty good. Check this side too. Yeah, so the gauge on that one is accurate to both my Axminster precision rule and the Incra rule. I'll try the smaller one, and that is also lining up. Yep, I'm going to make that a bit more scientific. I'm now going to use these holes, and for no apparent reason I'm going to come in at 200, go into the 200 hole and draw a line like so. I'm going to come in with the second one. I'm going to come into that 200 hole again and draw a line. One thing, because these have got the long reference edge here and you can really hold these and pull them in at the same time, that's really easy to use. 240 hole, nice. 160 hole, cool. So this is our 200 hole here, and for kicks I should be able to come in with my Incra hole, go into 200 on the Incra, which is a lot harder to use, and once again I'm pretty much bang on top of that line using my Incra rule here. Now, although the Incra is an incredibly accurate device, I've never been a fan of how flimsy it actually is, and these holes here are 0.5, so the lead does break. And this one here will be an equivalent price point to the 800 one of these, and I much prefer the quality of these. So I could well see this gorgeous little 300 one replacing my 300 Incra device. Much more sturdy, feels nice, and a lot easier to use, and just as accurate in terms of its measuring out ability. So there you go. So final thoughts, well, what's not to like? At that price point, the full set for £170 shipped to my door, or $172 shipped to your door if you're in the US, available both Imperial and in metric, I don't think you can go wrong with that. They're strong, they're robust, they feel quality, they're easy to use, they're nice to use, they're very tactile, which is usually a good indication that you're going to grab those as your measuring device. I highly recommend these. I agree with Dennis, these are a top quality product that's well worth your time and having a look at those. to the point where straight after this video I'm going to order with my own money the 800 and the 1000. Probably the only downside is that they don't do an imperial version of the 1000 one. That's a bit of an oversight, I think, and it'd be good to see them add that into their range. And if they watch this video, I'm sure they may well think about that one. And as I say, I'm going to rush off now and buy the next two in the range, and they're going to be a really good addition to my workshop. Hope you found this useful. As always, take care in the workshop, and I'll see you next time on the Woodgrafter.